Alright, welcome back to Genshin Impact. Last time, we finished up Yoimiya's quest, and who was the other person? Somebody else's quest. Well, I'll remember it later. So today we're gonna go and do more quests. Hooray! We're gonna do Lyney's today. So we're not gonna do Lyney's today. Who's stuck in a quest? We're gonna go to the newsstand. And we're gonna do this quest and get them out of the way. Where am I teleporting? I'm gonna go here and just drop down. We're gonna do this quest. Start it, get this character out of the way. Then we can start Lyney's quest. I fucking hate that Genshin does this. Absolutely hate it. I understand it to an extent, but can you not have the same 5 NPCs and 20 quests? That makes my life difficult. I think this is the event that's going on.
Hey, there's a newsstand over there. Want to grab a copy of the Steamboat?
There's a new event going on. With
We know
Kinich.
our Fontaine friends love a little drama. There's no way they let their readers down. Isn't that Charlotte? And standing next to her, surely that can't be Kinich?
Kinich? Oh, that's how you say his name.
How about lost treasure resurfaces at last. Behold the beauty of the Remurian teacup.
We haven't met this guy yet because I haven't done many of the Natlin story. Oh, she doesn't have any voice dialogue. Right. Hold up. This one's a gem. Illegal restaurant caught serving saurian stew proves surprisingly popular.
Pretty shocking. But it still feels like it's missing something. Ah, got it. Udex gravely wounded in shocking stabbing. Set to miss cross-border smuggling trial.
My oh my, that can't be for real. Look, fine, I hate to admit it, but you've won this one.
Huh? What? Did Paimon hear that right? Neuvillette was stabbed and gravely wounded?
It's a lie, Paimon.
No, surely that can't be right. Can it?
Surely not. If it is, we're all toast. Aha, I thought I heard familiar voices. Well, if it isn't Jedi Wolf and Paimon. What's up, Charlotte? What a coincidence. Mr. Kinich and I were talking about you two just a few minutes ago. Sorry, I can't read. Fortunately for me, he's a very loyal friend. I pressed him for some juicy details, but he remained... Yep. So anything you want to share with me about the great Jedi Wolf's triumphant exploits in Notlin? It was a team effort. I haven't done any of this, so... I hope there's no spoilers here. Modest as ever. Anyway, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Sorry. Let me backtrack a little. Hi, you two. It's been ages. What brings you back to Fontaine?
Hey there, you two. Fancy running into you here.
What a pleasant surprise. We're here to talk to Lyney.
Also, a less than pleasant shock.
Yeah, we need you to move out of the way.
What was all that about a story in meat restaurant and the Udex getting stabbed?
They're just
Please
making
say
up
you won't be
headlines,
serious.
Paimon. Trading tabloid headlines.
Trading tabloid headlines?
Sorry, I was drinking.
Yeah. Charlotte and I were having a little contest to see who could find the most ridiculous fake news stories. Either I got lucky, or I have a knack for honing in on the most outrageous material.
I'm sorry you had to see such an unflattering side of Fontaine, Mr. Kinich. These third-rate tabloids write their headlines purely to shock and scandalize. All they care about is grabbing your attention to boost their sales. The ones who've still got a shred of integrity will at least clarify the truth in the main body of the article, although the misleading headline is still an underhanded trick to draw readers in. But others, like the one we were just reading aloud, have no qualms about making outright fabrications.
If I had to quantify it, I'd say about 1% of what they write is the truth.
That's pretty lenient of you, Mr. Kinich.
Huh? Him? Lenient? Oh, you gotta be kidding! Ah!
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to give credit to these so-called news stories for occasionally including a grain of truth. All I'm saying is, even the wildest leaps of the human imagination are always rooted in reality.
Right.
You mean all those fake headlines you mentioned actually do have some basis in fact?
Sure they do. For instance, there was in fact a smuggling trial recently. Considering the amount of speculation surrounding the smuggled goods, it's no wonder there are rumors about restaurants serving saurian meat or teacups being unearthed from ancient ruins. But in reality, the goods in question were simply a few ancient relics dug up from ruins in Natlan. Rest assured, no saurians were harmed in the process.
And if you're wondering why the Eudics didn't preside over the trial, it's because this case was assigned to another judge right from the offset. It's not as if the Palais Mermonia only has one judge. We can't expect Monsieur Nouvelette to handle every single case himself. On a more interesting note, the trial in question went remarkably smoothly, and it was all thanks to Mr. Kenich's testimony as a key witness.
Oh, okay. Paimon was so busy freaking out about those headlines that she totally forgot to ask why you're here in Fontaine, Kenich.
Phew, it was all a misunderstanding. The world's not going to end. Maybe not, but it'd be an even better world for me if Mr. Kenich would agree to another exclusive interview with the Steambird.
It was a pretty open and shut case, and my testimony in court was clear enough. But I'm guessing, Mademoiselle Charlotte, that you're less interested in the case than you are in trying to uncover some news stories about Natlan.
Drat, you saw right through me. Guess I'll put it down to the keen instincts of a renowned saurian hunter. Any response to that,
I
or...
appreciate your kind invitation, but like I said, storytelling isn't really my forte.
Kenich the speechless! Kenich the tongue-tied! Huh?
If you're dead set on doing an interview, why not talk to the Traveler instead?
Back to me again? Ah, of course, that's a brilliant idea. But that also means I'll need a bit more time to prep. Let me put together a thorough list of interview questions. Sounds like I'm not allowed to refuse. Well, I know I can be persistent, but at the end of the day, it's your call. Anyway, I should probably be getting back to work. I also need to go track down a Nair and report these increasingly outrageous tabloids. Farewell, my friends, until we meet again. Goodbye.
Charlotte never stops, does she?
It doesn't.
Anyway, Paimon just has to ask. That how thing that popped out before, or was it a how? It kind of looked like a how, but at the same time...
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was a how.
Huh?
I always pronounced it Aja.
What's up with him?
It's weird hearing how you actually pronounce it. What does this guy know about Fontaine?
Way quieter than before.
Kenich? Nothing as far as I know.
Trying to hide or something.
Maybe he's not acclimatizing? Is that even a word? Or am I just stupid? Acclimatizing very well to Fontaine.
Could be.
Not acclimatizing?
Acclimatizing? Who the fuck uses acclimatizing anyway?
Almighty Dragon Lord is not feeling well.
Too bad he can't come out to argue back.
What do you mean?
There's nothing physically wrong with him. It actually has to do with a strange law we learned about after arriving in Fontaine.
Fontaine.
Apparently, it's forbidden to release flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month.
Oh, I get it now, and I'm sure Paimon gets it even better.
Paimon sure does. Paimon's been down this road before. There's an easy solution. As long as Kenich holds onto a house tail, he'll be considered an Almighty Dragon Lord balloon, not a flying Almighty Dragon Lord.
Not gonna lie, I was
Feel me?
considering that. But
Yeah.
a How wasn't too thrilled with the idea of huffing and puffing away in the form of a mini helium balloon. That said, it's pretty annoying how he keeps randomly popping up all of a sudden. Anyway, this morning I saw a notice outside the Palais Mermonia about an event that's set to take place outside the city soon. Something to do with filmmaking. I hear that's all the rage here. I was planning to stay here and do some exploring for a few extra days anyway, so I think I'll go check it out. It'll be a good chance to let that noisy helium balloon out. He might even learn a thing or two. If you're free, why don't you come along?
Sure, seeing... I'm gonna call him Aja. Angry always makes my day.
I know where it is, so let me lead the way.
Please don't lead the way. I want to be done with this dialogue. I just needed you guys to move. Fuck. An overnight Fantasyland started. Okay, thank God he just moved. Okay. I want to do this quest. We just needed Charlotte to get out of the way. Yeah, oh, now we can do this. Sorry guys, another cliffhanger on that quest, but I'm not doing it. It's actually an event, so you guys can do it yourselves. It's live right now. Check out the new event.
Hey, isn't that Charlotte?
That is Charlotte. We just talked to her technically, but
We're always running into
not in this
What are you doing this time?
reality.
Oh, looks like street interviews.
I need Genshin lore explained by Daredevil, and it needs to be 3
Might
hours.
be in for an interesting time if we go check it out, shall we?
Well, I'm sorry to inform you, but I don't think I'll be able to do a 3-hour video, and to be honest, I don't know if I remember all of the lore that I know. Vishal? Shut up! Anyway,
I see. So you
I can
believe
try,
this warning letter was
but I don't
sent by
know.
the Phantom Weasel?
Phantom Weasel.
Absolutely. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double.
Impossible
Now that he's
Abagnale.
back, I'm sure the guards who worked on his case back in the day are in for a headache, but however this turns out in the end, the one thing it won't be is boring.
Couldn't agree more.
And that's what's
As a
important.
journalist, I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this one. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next?
Not me, not me, not me, not me.
Hey!
I'm not here.
Coincidence! Fancy meeting you here.
Just do a lore you know and then go into tangents when you remember stuff to get to the
Perfect
3+
timing.
hours.
So,
You know me
the
so well.
Phantom Weasel's latest
You don't even
warning
have to
letter.
tell me to get into
What do you want?
tangents. I'll get into tangents anyway. Phantom Weasel.
Yeah, this is the first time we're hearing
Alright,
of
I'll
this
give that to
one.
you. No worries.
Can you fill us in? Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, this case is from a decade ago. I guess you wouldn't know about it.
Nope. A decade ago.
Well, not to
Oh.
worry. You're in good hands because I'm a
Alright, here's some
professional.
lore drops. I don't know how long the Traveler's been here, but I know it hasn't
10 or
been
so
10
years
years,
ago,
that's
a
for sure.
phantom thief
At least a
became
year.
active in the court of Fontaine, known only as the
Maybe.
Weasel. Nobody knew his true identity, and the
No.
authorities never managed to catch him. Wow.
Our sister's been here for like 500
He
years.
sounds like one of those mysterious
Time's weird.
night
I don't know.
burglars that you read about in novels.
We arrived after
Precisely.
she got
Well,
here.
except the part where they actually have a good reputation. Our Weasel targeted whatever
I'm going
people
with the
held
year still.
dear, and no one was safe from his predations.
Julian
He would
agrees.
just as soon steal a necklace from a rich merchant's safe as he would a toy doll given to a commoner child for their birthday.
King Julian? Sounds like an absolute
Phantom
weirdo.
thieves you read about in novels rob the rich to pay the poor, but this guy did not discriminate. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work wonders for his public reputation. Every man and his dog wanted to see him behind bars. Yeesh. So,
Oh, is the weasel we're talking about going to be Lyney?
Not exactly. There's a good chance that the weasel would still be at large to this day if it hadn't been
Or
for
maybe
an
Lyney's gonna
accident
help us
10
catch the
years
weasel.
ago. A magician named Caesar fell to his death in a
Caesar.
botched high-altitude escape performance. When the police went through his personal effects, they found a hoard of stolen
Oh,
loot and gadgets
Caesar
used for
was
criminal
the weasel.
activities. And that was how the Phantom Weasel's identity was revealed to all. Sure enough, thefts in Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. But today, 10 years on, the notorious thief has once again issued one of his warning letters and pasted it on the gate of the Opera Epiclese for all to see.
Hey, Lenny's over there. I see him. He was on the bridge.
I photo as soon as I heard. Here, it's this one.
I can't read that.
So, this is the warning letter, huh? Let's see what he wrote.
Written in
3
Fontanian.
days from now,
Oh,
when
thank you, Paimon.
evening
You can read that.
falls, I shall take from you that which you hold most dear at the opera house. Just
Send him
as
to
you
the
did
principal's
to
office and
me
have him
10
expelled.
years ago.
Expelliarmus.
This is, without a doubt, a clear declaration of criminal intent. After years of laying low, the Phantom Weasel is back with a vengeance.
It's just somebody else
What
taking
once
his
seemed like an open and shut
identity.
case has been blown wide
The
open.
day I lost my
But why has he
identity.
reemerged now? And what does he want? I sense an epic scoop, and I'm going for it.
Your shirt's
Uh-oh.
backwards.
If
What?
this thief will
Shirt's
steal
backwards.
anything that other people value, does that mean even we might be targeted?
He might steal all your favorite snacks.
Really? Oh, let him try. In fact, Paimon's gonna eat all our snacks right now. Let's see what he can do about that.
Don't do that, Paimon. We
Okay,
need to save
the
those
people
for
have
later.
spoken.
Look,
It's
he's still
clear
up
that
there.
the public are very
Lenny's right
concerned
there.
about the
He's right there. Somebody get him. No? Okay.
Let's see, I've got a
Oh,
photo
hey.
of the letter, my interview notes. Yep, that should be enough to form the skeleton of my article. It does feel like something is missing, though.
Magic.
Something exclusive. Who should I interview next? I need someone with a more concrete connection to the weasel. Is that who I think it is?
Yep. It's the man, the myth, the legend. The guy, the man of the day.
Hey!
Looks like he's performing some magic.
Magic. Magician. Caesar! The Phantom Weasel! That's it! Let's go interview Lyney!
The Phantom Caesar Weasel.
You see, the original Phantom Thief Caesar was a magician too! And what do Phantom Thieves and magicians have in common? They both have an air of mystery about them. Perhaps there's a connection there.
Didn't you say Caesar was a
What sort of a deduction is that?
magician? That's your connection right there, is that they are
My
both
journalistic
magicians.
instinct tells me
Not
that
that they're-
an exclusive news story is beckoning. Let's go. No time for delay.
Right. Go talk to Lyney. I think the last time we talked to Lyney, we were both in jail together. Nope, it was when he was fighting for his life from his
Gotta find that balance.
father.
Flavor and
Adopted
nutrition.
mother called father. Anyway,
Take a guess.
look, it's me, your doppelganger. Phantom Thief? Persona? My persona!
Which card I picked?
Oh, it's simple. Come closer, and I'll let you in on my secret.
He's kidnapping a child.
Magicians have a
Oh,
special
sorry.
skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's minds.
Really? Then, what am I thinking now?
Well, first you need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
Aww.
And now you're getting a little flustered. You're trying to find a way to empty your mind, to think of nothing at all. But the more you try to hide a secret, the easier it'll come out. You snuck out from home today, didn't you? You told your family a little lie so you could come out and play. Now, that's not a good habit.
You know.
You can tell? Oh boy, you really can read my mind.
Of course. Oh, and that's the end of my performance. You should really be heading home. Remember to apologize to your family, all right? They must be worried about you.
All right, got it. Bye, Mr. Magician.
The power of magic. Hi, Lyney. Still hate you for being a fatui, but you're chill. You're a chiller
Why,
fatui.
hello. We meet again. Are you looking for me? What's the situation?
Well, why don't you guess, Mr. Telepathic?
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
He's a
I'm
liar.
sure that child would beg to differ. Seemed like you were right on the money.
That was nothing more than a little trickery. I made an educated guess based on his micro-expressions. That, plus the fact that he was the only kid here without his parents, and he looked as guilty
But a
as
magician
sin.
never revealed
He
his
made it easy
secrets.
for me.
He is currently blabbing
You
about
guys, on the
how
other
he
hand,
used telepathy.
Let me guess. Don't tell me you're here for the Phantom Weasel, are you?
See, he did it again.
Wow. Got it in one.
The W to no
That's
Genshin
more of your
references?
trickery at work.
Wait, really?
I don't know about that
no
one.
Trickery
Maybe.
This time. It was pure luck.
I don't know what instances you would be referencing Genshin.
His warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking around about that.
Bingo! I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the Phantom Weasel.
Right.
So, Lyney, what are your thoughts on this infamous thief's reappearance?
To be honest, it makes me angry.
Angry? Why?
Gives a bad name to magicians?
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time
Oh.
at the Opera House.
He's framing you.
That's the night I'll be performing there.
Huh. What are the glasses.
Gotta be Lyney.
Wait a minute.
There's somebody that
you
knows
don't
Lyney.
Do you?
Well, if he is, then his warning is clearly a direct challenge to me personally. And if he's not, then it's still going to be a huge headache for me. The mere mention of the weasel's name is enough to scare people off. So once the contents of that letter get out, barely anyone will be showing up to watch my show. But I've been preparing for this for a long time. I'm not about to let him ruin my big day. This leaves me with only one choice. I have to expose the Phantom Weasel's identity before the show begins.
So 2 magic tricks
So what
in
you're
one.
saying is we might get to see a live duel between a famous magician and an infamous thief? Wow, this has exclusive written all over it.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll emerge the victor. The Phantom Weasel is a notorious crook, infamous for his inscrutable methods.
You're being far too modest, Lyney. I think your magic tricks are even more inscrutable than those of a thief.
Thanks for the compliment, though I have to say I don't care much for the comparison. A lot of people liken magicians to thieves because we both have the ability to make things disappear without the person noticing.
I mean, if
But
you put
there's an
2 and 2
important
together, I
difference
mean,
that these people overlook. Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick. Here, I have a flower, just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now. 3, 2, 1.
possible.
It's gone!
Where'd it go?
That's the question. Where did it go?
Check your ass. I mean, what?
Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear. If I could now invite you all to check your clothes, there might be a surprise in there somewhere.
Yo, whose hands in my pants? I mean, fuck. The flower's here.
A surprise? Let me see!
It's right on my chest. Get it off! Ah! Ah! Good. Good, guys. I'm good. It's just a flower.
There! But how?
Just a flower.
This whole time!
We keep the flower there. That's,
What an outstanding trick! Sorry, Lyney, it seems that
flavor
my
to
previous
the
praise
outfit.
was woefully inadequate. Clearly, magic is the superior
wild.
art form to theft.
Don't worry, I didn't take offense. I just wanted to take the opportunity to perhaps change some of the preconceived notions you might have about magicians. Since Caesar's death, a lot of people associate magicians with criminality. It can be quite frustrating.
Right.
I can imagine. Coming back to your trick just now, might I presume that you are well versed in floral symbolism? For example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related performances to represent passion and romantic encounters.
What is this flower?
But you used a Lumidu spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to separations. I'm curious to know if there was any deeper
Gotta
meaning
keep them
behind this choice.
separated.
Impressive knowledge. It's no wonder you're such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about floral symbolism. I'm just in the habit of using Lumidu spells in my magic.
Likely story,
Sounds like
Lyney.
something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself a copy of Fontaine's Floral Language Facts when I have some time. But it'll have to wait until this Phantom Weasel business is behind us.
Well noted. In that case, this brings us to the end of our interview. I, for one, am looking forward to the final showdown between
This gonna be in the
you and
newspaper?
thief. Please feel free to get in touch to update me on any further developments. Otherwise, I will of course see you at your show in 3 days' time. But let's hope the Phantom
3
Weasel is not by
days.
then. If there's nothing else, I'll be off. You've given me lots to work with here, and I've got no time to lose if I want to write that exclusive piece. I'll see you all later.
Alright, see ya, Charlotte. Now, Lenny, you gotta explain to me how you did that flower trick.
Lyney, are you gonna tell us how you did that flower
That's
trick now?
exactly what I was thinking. Why are we... Why am... Okay. Get out of my head, Python.
I'm afraid that's my little secret.
God damn. But you revealed your telepathy secret. How can you not...
Magicians are entitled to their secrets.
Okay.
But Paimon's really itching to know how it's done. You feel it too, right? So itchy.
I think that's just the pollen. Anyway, the Phantom Weasel. You sure you'll be able to handle him?
Not so itchy then, huh?
Nah. I'll keep the flower.
Well,
Thank you, though.
since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistants and help me investigate?
Are you roping me up into a bunch of stuff again?
Oh, that sounds fun! Assistants are technically magicians too.
I mean, it's,
Also,
well,
it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done. Shall we go for it?
well, what about your brother or your sister or any of the house of, what are they called? What are they called? I don't remember. Anyway, we'll help you with your investigation. What's your plan?
The first thing we need to look into is who Caesar really was. If he truly was the Phantom Weasel, that means that the weasel is dead, and whoever wrote this warning letter is just a copycat criminal.
Exactly what I was thinking.
But if he wasn't the weasel? Well, that'll make things more interesting. It would mean that the weasel lives, and he's been laying low all this
For
time
10
in some
years, it's
corner
quite a
of
long
Fontaine.
time to lay low.
And if we're investigating Caesar, his fiancée Gemma is a good place to
How
start.
do you know all this?
Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I asked Lynette to wait for her there. We should make a move.
I know it's...
Let's go and rendezvous with Lynette.
Okay, so Lynette is helping. I know it's been 10 years, but when asking the widow of the dead husband be a little insensitive. Poisson. She's over by Poisson. Oh, I guess there's a large grave site over here. Makes sense. Away! Are we gonna meet Navia over here too? Or is it just gonna be... what was her name? Gemma? What was her name? I forgot already. Oh, Lynette and... What is her name? Gemma? Chillin'. Baldur's Gate making this my background podcast. Hell yeah.
You took your time.
Sorry, I bumped into the Traveler and Charlotte en route, and we ended
Oh,
up
I took the
chatting
flower
for a
off.
while.
Kept it on.
It's been a while, Lynette. We're working as Lyney's temporary assistants in the investigation of the Phantom Weasel.
Weasel.
Thank you. It's good to have you helping.
So, what's the situation? Have you seen Gemma?
Nope. I've been here a while, and she still hasn't shown up.
How bizarre. Maybe it was bad intel.
He knows
well,
where
we won't get anywhere
we're
by
looking.
standing around waiting.
Oh.
Traveler, Paimon, let's go ask around.
Theory. Gemma is actually... She's learned the tricks of the thief because of course she has, because she's been married to him. And she is the new weasel. Sticking with that till we find out anything else. Hi, Baltazar.
Excuse me, good sir. Do you by any chance know a Gemma?
Gemma? You mean Caesar's fiance? Sure I do. What's this about?
I'm just trying to get a hold of her because I need her help with something. I heard she comes here a lot.
Yeah, she does. Poor thing. It's no secret why either. She's heartsick.
After.
Ever since Caesar passed away, she's been coming here once every week to clean his grave.
Huh?
Often she just sits there in front of his headstone, lost in thought. Sometimes she talks to herself. I asked her what she was doing once. She said she wanted to speak to him again. She knows he's gone and can't hear her from the grave, but she just likes to spend time there, telling her fiancé all about how her life is going.
And she's been doing this ever since Caesar passed away? Oh, so 10 years. Wow. Their love must have been really strong.
Or maybe he's alive, and that's how she tells him
Caesar's
everything going
reputation
on.
fell apart after his identity was revealed, so no one else visits his grave. Gemma's the only one who still thinks about him after all these years. I don't know if the mind lives on in the waters after death, but
It
if
does. We
I'm
figured
sure
it out.
Caesar must be grateful to have someone who remembers him fondly. If I'm honest, I think this is all so unfair to poor Gemma. Her fiancé was a low-life crook. He doesn't deserve someone like her. Anyway, all of that said, she's running later than usual today. Normally, she'd be sitting in front of his grave by now. I wonder if she's okay.
It's because we have Lynette
Well,
posted
that's
out
everything I
front,
know, I'm
waiting
afraid.
for her.
You might have more luck asking some other people.
Well, thanks, Baltazar.
All right, well, thanks for sharing all of this with us. We'll keep asking around.
You're welcome. I just hope she'll be able to move on one day.
Maybe. What's up, Gracia and Giuliano?
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom Weasel's back.
You're kidding. Wait, isn't he dead?
He's right next to us.
I don't know anymore. All sorts of news flying around nowadays. I can never tell what's true and what isn't.
Oh, so why are you talking about this at a
But what
grave
if,
site? Shouldn't you
just
be mourning
hypothetically,
whoever
I
you're
mean,
here to visit?
What if this
Anyway.
Weasel's the real deal and Caesar was framed?
Called
Framed.
it. Seriously, 10 years ago, on the day it all went down, I said to myself, you know what? This guy's been set up. The Caesar I knew
So
was
they
a good
know
guy.
Caesar.
He gave balloons to children on the street, for Pete's sake. What, are we supposed to believe that he was a balloon
He does have
thief or
ultimate go
something?
on.
Give me a break.
Oh, please. Weren't you the
Super
one
Saiyan.
cursing his name to high heaven when the police announced the news? You were all, "Oh, that gosh darn lousy son of a, you think you know a guy," or words to that effect.
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
It's a liar. Sorry to interrupt. Not
Hello
sorry.
there. Sorry for disturbing you, but I couldn't help but notice you were discussing the Phantom Weasel. We're actually quite interested in
Weasel.
this topic as well, but we're struggling to get to the bottom of it. Do you think you could spare a moment to tell us a little bit about Caesar?
Well, Julius Caesar was
You've
stabbed in
come
the
to the
back.
right people.
Is this a play on Julius
I
Caesar?
was there.
Where
Back
he
when Caesar
actually
used
was
to perform
framed
magic tricks on the
by
street.
somebody
He was a great magician.
was he framed by
The
his
best trick I
wife,
ever saw
who is
him
now
do
pretending
was
to
pop
be
a
him?
transparent balloon, only for a whole bunch of doves to fly out from the inside.
The ultimate betrayal.
I was right up close and didn't blink or look away once. But for the life of me, I still don't have the faintest clue how he pulled it off. Really incredible stuff.
I saw him perform too. He always used to bring some gifts along for the kids who came to watch his show, and he'd hand them out after he was done. Sometimes he even got the kids to write their wishes down, and then he'd make the items on the wish list appear in
Oliver
his
knows
next show.
Dragon Ball.
Huh. He doesn't sound like such a bad guy.
But after he died, there were also rumors that he used the wish list to find out what was precious to people, with the intent to steal it later. As I'm sure you know, the Phantom Weasel would steal just about anything from anyone.
Whatever the case, now that the weasel is back, Caesar's become a hot topic once more.
Hot topic. We're going shopping, guys?
I bet
We're going to
Shirley
Hot
must be
Topic, guys. Get
pleased.
in.
If Caesar's name gets cleared,
Get in, bitch. We're going
maybe
shopping.
they'll finally give her some solace after all this time. No, speak of the devil. That's her over there. If you've got any more
Oh.
questions about Caesar, she's definitely the one to ask.
Alright, I'll be bad cop, you be good cop, Lyney. Let's go. Paimon,
So that's
fill your
Gemma.
mouth with snacks. We don't need you talking right now.
Is it just Paimon, or does it look like something's wrong?
You said a
Wait.
trance.
It looks like she's injured. Come on, let's see if she's okay.
Spot that from over here. Anyway. Excuse me, ma'am. We're here to berate you with questions about your husband that you love a lot and has been dead for 10 years.
Hi there. You're Gemma, right?
Who's asking?
Don't be afraid, we mean no harm.
Oh, you see, you saying that would probably make her think that we mean harm.
It looks like you're injured. How bad is it?
Thanks for your concern, but you didn't answer my question. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
My name is Lyney, and this is my sister Lynette.
Jig's up. She knows our names now.
My name's Paimon, and this here's the Traveler. We're investigating the Phantom Weasel.
Joke's on you. My name's not actually the
The
Traveler.
weasel posted a
Really
warning
do go
letter
do
this
that.
morning. If
Doot
he
da
still
doot doot
lives,
doot
that
da
means
doot.
that Caesar
feel
was
me?
falsely accused. You knew Caesar better
Feel
than
ya.
anyone else.
I don't actually feel you.
So if you're willing,
Get outta here,
I'd love to hear what you
Streamlabs.
think about all this.
Actually, don't get
I
out of here.
promise you can trust
You're annoying
us.
to deal with when you
We
stop
won't
working.
hurt you. In fact, we'll do all we can to keep you safe.
I never believed that he was the weasel.
Huh. I suspected as much. Okay, so going back 10 years, do you remember anything strange in the weeks leading up to the accident? Did Caesar have a falling out with anyone, for instance?
His
No.
own wife.
Not that I know of.
The best friend.
Got
Caesar have friends?
All right. Sorry for disturbing you.
Yeah, Balthazar guy.
If you don't
That's
have
not
any
his
more
name.
questions,
Balthazar?
please leave.
Baltimore guy
I
over
want you
there.
alone with him.
Said he was friends, I think, if I remember right. These guys seem to be a little friendly. It was few lives that will make you thanks for keeping me. Okay.
Judging by the look on her face, there's
Chill out.
definitely something fishy about her.
It's not the smell.
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
Perhaps she simply doesn't trust us.
That's fair. We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up and started questioning her about things that happened a whole decade ago.
Yes.
It makes sense that she'd be wary around us. In any
Backseating
case,
is not my
I doubt
forte.
we'll get
Okay.
any further here, so let's call it a day. Meet me outside Hotel de Boer tomorrow, and then we'll start the
De
next
Boer.
step of our plan.
Okay. Ma'am. Oh, she's gone again. Okay, well, you guys have fun. We're gonna go. De Boer. We have to wait. Till 8. Tomorrow. Waiting time. Unless you were playing Roblox. Then you're gonna backseat. If I was playing Roblox, what a guy. I'll have to ban you then if you do that. Rendezvous. Alright, Lyney, we waited outside all day and all night for you. Are we getting a Roblox obby stream, bro? Probably never.
Over here.
I see.
Lynette's not joining us today?
I've
Please
had her follow
no,
Gemma
Ben,
and
it's
see if
not
we
the
can make
Jedi
any
way.
inroads with her. They should be at a cafe right now.
You think I'm a Jedi because of my
Still,
name? Fool.
I don't think that Gemma's likely to open up to us.
The facade.
So
A lie.
we need a contingency plan.
I pull out my Glock. Tell them to put their hands up. You ask them questions and they'll answer truthfully. We got it. You're breaking my heart. Roblox sponsors soon. Bro. I mean, if Roblox sponsors me, maybe I'll play the game. Where should we start?
Today we'll be looking into a guy named Lorenzo, Caesar's former
Lorenzo.
pupil and assistant. When Caesar passed away, all the stolen goods discovered in his home were confiscated and returned to their rightful owners. But Lorenzo was the only one privy
So
to all
Lorenzo's
these
his magic
secrets,
friend who's
and
pretending
he
to be
inherited
him,
his craft.
who has
Before long, Lorenzo
attacked
was
his
the
wife
next
to
big
keep
magician
her
in town,
silent.
his fame surpassing even that of his master, and it made him very wealthy.
Today with Obby
He's
being
since
made
left
right
the
now.
magic
What are you
scene,
talking
though,
about?
and these days, he's a wealthy businessman with his fingers in a lot of different pies. I had to pull a lot of strings, but I managed to get him to agree to a couple of drinks with me. Be warned, though, I hear he's got a hair-triggered
Couple of
temper.
drinks? Lenny, we're not of
We
age.
best
What
be
kind of drinks are
careful.
you talking? Better be apple juice. I don't remember the last time I was in Hotel de Boer. I think it was when we were having dinner with Navia, maybe.
You neglected to mention that you were bringing 2 other people with you.
My apologies. These 2 are my assistants. When they heard that I was meeting with the former magic maestro himself, they begged and pleaded with me to bring them along. And if it's no trouble, a couple of
Obstacle.
autographs would really make their day.
Oh, forget the
Oh, boy.
pleasantries, just sit.
Seems like a nice man.
Get a load of this guy. Forget the pleasantries, he says, but he looks pretty happy about Lyney stroking his ego.
Yo, what?
I only agreed to meet
What is he
since we're
stroking?
both magicians. Do me a favor and cut to
You
the
said she was
chase. I
12.
have more important things to do than drinking.
Much obliged, sir. As it happens, the matter I want to address is also related to magic. Yesterday morning, a warning letter from the Phantom Weasel appeared on the entrance to the Opera House. He claims to be planning something for the same evening that I'm scheduled to do a magic show there. As such, I believe that I may well be his target. I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as planned. Naturally, any investigation into the Weasel starts with a few questions about Caesar, who...
What is there to investigate? Caesar was the Weasel, and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if
What?
some sick creep thought it'd be funny to write a warning letter? It changes nothing. Are you trying to tell me you actually bought it?
Please, sir, no need to get so worked up. I do concede that a copycat is but one possibility.
Possibility? It's a fact, Lyney. Look, my patience is limited, so listen carefully while I'm still willing to put up with you. The Weasel is dead. Period. Everyone knows that, so do yourself a favor and quit this investigation. It'll lead you nowhere. Look, if this affects your magic show in any way, I will personally compensate you for any losses.
Oh, sir, I'm honored, really. But this isn't about finances for me.
Take this chat.
My pride as a magician
My
is
barking
what's at
privileges?
stake
Whose
here,
barking
Lorenzo.
privileges?
Copycat or not,
You can't
this
take my
person
barking
has thrown
privileges
me the
away.
Gauntlet, and I must meet their challenge
The part of
head-on.
me. It's who I am.
Your pride? Don't mince words with me, boy. Just tell me, what exactly are you seeking to do?
I want to find out the Phantom Weasel's true identity. I have to know for myself what really happened 10 years ago.
What would that accomplish? And what do the events of 10 years ago have to do with you, anyway? Look, you
10
of
years
all
ago, I
people
think
should
Lyney
know
was
that
5.
A magician never reveals their secrets. And in any case, dead men don't talk. So if you really care about your magician's pride, then you'll forget about Caesar and move on.
Uh-oh. This is getting awkward.
Renzo? Is that? Oh, it is you! I know that
Vargas
big,
Removius? No.
booming voice anywhere. What's up, my man? Want to grab a drink with me?
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on. You can't be all business all the time.
I feel like this drunk guy's gonna reveal something that we
You know
shouldn't
what they
know.
say?
No, Ollie can't eat
Fast,
peanut butter.
die
No.
young. You gotta learn how to kick back and relax once in a while.
If I wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out of my face and go be drunk somewhere else.
Sorry, my good sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey! Edmondo. He and I are business pals. We worked together a bunch of times. This is your first time meeting him? Oh, he's always like this. Foul-mouthed and hard-nosed. Never heard a kind word out of this guy the whole time I've known him. And he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend, despite being, what, pushing 40, 30, something? Anyway, point is, a lot older than when he first got rejected by the girl he was into.
The girl he was rejected was Caesar's wife.
Still into, from what I hear.
It's all connected.
Shut up and get out
Gemma.
of my face. Another
He
word
loved
you
Gemma,
can forget about
and
doing
Caesar
business
took
with me
Gemma
ever
from him,
again.
and he
Do I make
killed
myself clear?
Caesar. I got it. I fucking got it. I'm big brain.
Sorry, I may
Case
have
closed.
had
We're
a
done.
little too
Wrap
much
it up.
drink. All right.
And he's
I'm
pretending to
gonna
be
leave. Don't work too
the
hard.
Weasel. Why he's framing Lyney, I don't know. Maybe he's got something against the Fatui.
I think it's
There's
high
something
time
more
I get
here
in
that
the
we're
mood
missing.
as well. If you really want to investigate this, Lyney, be my guest.
Thoughts on Expedition 33? Will you become French? We.
But if nothing good comes of it, don't say
If somebody
I
buys the
didn't
game for
warn
me,
you.
I will become French.
Well, that fell to pieces in a rather spectacular fashion. Any thoughts?
There's something strange about him.
Totally. And what was all that about compensating you for your losses? Why would someone you just met make an offer like that?
Because he feels guilty.
He's gotta be hiding something. And not like Gemma. She was a little suspicious, but this guy's definitely covering something up.
I think so too.
Maybe this is all a red
We need
herring,
to look
and
into
we're being
Lorenzo more
pushed
closely.
somewhere else,
That guy Edmondo
where
seems
we're
to know
not
a
going to
thing or
get
two
what
about
we
him.
need.
He only just left. Let's see if we can catch up with him.
I don't know, I'm just speculating. Lots of speculations. The French! Technically, we are in, like, the French version of this. Fontaine is France. Or Europe. Edmondo. Is that what your name was? Edmondo?
You okay there?
Who are you? Oh, it's you guys. Don't worry about me. I must have had one too many. I just need to ride it out. I said way too much back there, didn't I? Yeah, I nearly talked myself into complete financial ruin. Note to self, no more drunken chats when Lorenzo's around.
So he was serious about threatening to cut you off? Ugh, Paimon knew he was a bad egg.
Hey,
The baddest.
keep your voice down.
He has eyes and ears
Don't
everywhere.
go prying into Lorenzo's personal affairs. Bad things happen to people who ask too many questions. Or make an enemy out of him.
Just like Caesar.
What kind of bad things?
Don't even ask. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cut this conversation short. I'm not crossing that line again. And take it from me, trouble with Lorenzo is one thing you don't need in your life. You saw him flare up back there. I don't know what you said to him, but clearly it touched a nerve. That's not a good sign. You're too young for this. Don't get in over your head. I'm leaving.
Right, okay, well. Je m'appelle Senor Baguette Brioche. Did you just use Spanish and French together?
What do we do now, Lyney?
Shh. I think we're being watched. Someone was listening in to our whole conversation.
I see him.
Don't say anything and don't look back. Any altercation in the city will attract the guards. We'd better take this elsewhere.
Elsewhere? We're going to elsewhere. We're going to elsewhere, where the Khajiit live. Where are we going? 900 meters away? We're leaving the city? Okay. Jim Apple. Did you just say... Okay, whatever. There's a chest out here I haven't grabbed.
You followed us a long way. Why don't you come out and introduce yourselves?
That's a lot of people.
So you're Lyney. And where's your
Smooth
sister?
face Pacino.
She with you today? Save us the trouble and go fetch her for us. Let's not drag this out.
Paimon doesn't like the tone of your voice, mister. Who sent you, huh?
Save your questions, Missy.
Painter De
You
Niro.
ain't gonna need answers where you're going. Capiche?
Capiche?
Looks like we can't avoid this fight.
We're dealing with
Now,
the
I'm not
Italian
the
mafia.
strongest fighter, so I hope you're ready to back me up.
Using my primo gems? I used all of them trying to get fucking
Don't worry, we got this.
venti. You need the dopamine? Here's your dopamine right here. We're gonna be killing people. Ouch.
Oz, reveal vice. Let's fly.
Murder! Legal murder.
Curses. They're tougher than we thought.
Get out of here, Pacino.
Vision wielders are always trouble. Intimidation ain't gonna work like it did on the lady.
Come on, let's scram.
So these guys were hired to hurt Gemma. Got it.
Through with you yet? Oh, they got away. Did you catch what they said just before they left? Something about intimidating someone else.
Yep.
Sounds like they just wanted to rough us up as a scare tactic, and they've already done it to someone else, but who?
Could it be Gemma?
You're right. She was injured when we saw her yesterday, and she acted like she had something to hide.
That's why she was also on edge talking
Maybe
to
she
us.
was too scared to tell us the truth because those guys had threatened her.
Exactly. They were hired
Well,
by
if
Lorenzo.
that's the case, she should be more willing to open up to us when she learns that those thugs won't be bothering her anymore. Let's head back to the cafe.
I don't know
and see
about
if we
that.
can get any information from her.
We're gonna bug her with questions. Got it. Yeah, I can show you how poor I am. I have 2,000. That's I'm poor. I got My boy, everyone's favorite femboy Venti. And no, I haven't leveled him up yet. And no, he doesn't have anything good because... Yep. Anyway. The next week will be fully dedicated to rolling and getting SSS tier pulls. Right. Sure thing. If you want to hop on my account and grind for me for the next week. Sure. Give you Oliver's credit card. Okay, shit. Never mind. Yeah, give me his credit card. We'll be good. Lynette. You give me his credit card, we can do pulls right now.
Gemma?
How about another run on Baldur's Gate 3?
You again?
No.
What is it this time?
We just ran into
The
the,
collection,
men who've been
right.
threatening you, and we
Another
gave them a
fine
taste of
addition
their
to
own
my collection.
medicine. So, you can relax now. We're here to protect you.
What? Why? I didn't tell you anything. Why would they come after you?
Because we talked to their boss.
Sounds like they're no strangers to you.
That's putting it mildly. I know them all too well, and I hate them with every fiber of
What
my
is this
being.
emote?
It's been 10
Push?
long
Oh.
years, and still every time I try to look into Caesar's death, they show up and warn me not to do anything stupid. How do I know I can trust you? Do you really think you can get to the bottom of it all?
Nope, but we'll try.
And why are you doing this?
I mean, if we really wanted to, I'm friends with
I'm afraid I
Nubalette,
can't
so...
reveal all the details
Will he help
just
us,
yet,
though?
but
Probably
I can
not.
promise you this. I will expose the Phantom Weasel's true identity. Because you see, this is a personal matter of the utmost importance. I give you my word. Trust me.
Okay. How can I
Why
help
was there
you?
a sad Millicene over there?
I've heard that Caesar
Background
used to
over
have
by
a
the
magic
bush.
workshop where he kept a lot of his personal effects. If possible, I'd like to take a look at them. Do you know where it is?
It's in a vault under the ocean.
The Fleuve Sonde.
The Fleuve
The place was sealed up by the police after his death, and no one's been there since.
It's okay, I got my
I
connection.
also know that the Fleuve Sonde is dangerous territory. Lots of hostile groups lurking around.
Hostiles.
If you're serious about going there, please be careful.
I think I'll never
Understood.
beat Baldur's
Lynette,
Gate 3
you
with
stay
8
here
runs.
and take
That's
care
why
of
we need to
Gemma. Don't
fucking
let her
keep
come to
continuing
harm.
at least one of them.
Got it.
Stop jumping
But if
around
I'm
with more
staying
people.
Here, I'm ordering dessert.
I mean, bon appetit, but stay sharp.
Bon
too.
appetit.
They're
Why do you have to
likely
say it like
come
that?
for you while I'm away.
Okay. Alright. Power saving mode off. I'll start taking this more seriously now.
Knew she was an android. No way.
Whatever you do, please be careful. If anything happens to you because you're investigating Caesar, I'll never be able to forgive myself.
Forgive.
With me here, nothing will happen.
Okay. Where am I going? Underground. Ayo. It's been a while since I've been here. I don't even remember the first time why I was here. Don't remember. I'm a victim and no longer a
If
proper
Gemma gave
consumer
us
of the
the right
game.
location, then
Impossible.
the workshop should be right nearby. Huh. Looks like these boxes are blocking the entrance. Let's shift them away first.
If you help Lyney move the boxes aside, it looks like no one's been here in
There
a
we
long
go.
time.
It should be just down here.
That is a shame. That's why we have the 50 other runs, so you can get Shadow Heart in one of those. Nope. Of course it's a dungeon. Of course. Why wouldn't it be a dungeon?
this was Caesar's workshop. Nothing suspicious here, just normal magic props.
Suspicious? This whole place is suspicious, Paimon. Open your eyes. The fuck has an underground shop like this?
Oh, is this one of Caesar's gadgets? Guess we must have triggered some sort of device.
Oh.
Midnight Phantasmagoria! Access denied.
And voila!
Ha! Locked on! Open fire!
Whoa. Look, the doll in the box is glowing.
Sure is. Oh, it's moving. I wasn't looking at the one that was glowing.
There's something written on the card on this doll. Let's take a closer look.
Wish list. I'd like a little dove. I want a robot with cool powers. No, you need your parents' permission to own a pet, and you also need to take good care of it. I've brought a fluffy toy dove for you this time. If you're ready to own a pet, I'll make a real dove appear for you next time, Caesar. Gah! I want a bucket of fried chicken that never runs out. Me too, bro. Me fucking too. I'd like a new bag. If I could get a bucket of fried chicken that never runs out, I mean, I'll probably die of cardiac arrest at a young age. But that would be great. No, there's no such thing as fried chicken that never runs out, just as there's no such thing as children who never grow up. Also, eating too much fried food is bad for you. Make sure to pair it with something healthy, like a salad, alright? Ruining all the fun, Caesar. This is why you got killed. You didn't let him get his fried chicken bucket of infinite power. You fool. Anyway. What a room. Stumble into a Popeyes. Infinite Popeyes. No, not Popeyes.
These magic boxes are moving. What do we do?
One of them looks different from the rest. Let's investigate.
Ah! Infinite KFC. I wish my parents would get back together. Ooh. I wish for good grades in my next exam. I wish for my little sister to have a normal life free of danger. No, I want you to know. You can always share your troubles with me, children, but some wishes need more than magic to make them come true. They need the power of your hard work. I wish you the best of luck and hope that all of your wishes will come true. Caesar. These guys gotta pop up? No, they're done. Okay. They have... Oh my god. No, they don't. They don't have Bob left. It'll be the first and last time I get tricked. I'll have you know. When do we get to go to your wedding, Uncle Caesar? I want to watch your shows even when I'm grown up, Uncle Caesar. Do you have to go on tour? Can't you stay here with us, Uncle Caesar? Oh my, this round of wishes has rather exceeded my expectations. The wedding will be held very soon, and don't worry, you're all invited. The tour has already been scheduled, but I will definitely be back, and you'll always be welcome at my shows if you like magic. Caesar. Caesar.
That's weird. Have we reached the end already?
Nope, there's an invisible wall somewhere. Secrets.
There's nothing here. Maybe this was a wasted trip.
Lyney, what are you looking at?
This place seems a little too ordinary for a magician's workshop. There's a distinct lack of mystery. We've triggered quite a few devices on the way here. I'm starting to wonder whether Caesar built this whole place as one big, elaborate magic contraption. If so, then there must be more to this place than meets the eye. Maybe a hidden room somewhere. Aha! If if I just move this book, then hopefully...
The whole place blows up.
and presto.
Crystal magic.
A secret passageway!
Secret tunnel.
I'm a magician too, and apparently great minds really do think alike.
I thought you
Looks
didn't like
pretty
being
big
compared to him.
inside. Let's head in and take a look around.
In we go. Up we go.
By royal decree, this is long overdue.
This is long overdue.
Open fire!
Up we go. Hello, sir.
Knock him down. No touching. Let's ride. Locked on. Bullseye.
Why have you stopped, Lyney? Is there some device in that box?
This is
Huh. It just looks familiar somehow. Let me check this out for a second while you guys go on ahead. If anyone makes a major discovery, let's rendezvous here.
yeah.
All right, see you in a bit.
We're gonna find all of the things, Lyney. All of them. Oh boy. This is a memorization game. Activate all the magic steps without stepping on the same one twice. Boop doo boo. Boop doo. Boop doo boo. Boop doo doo doo. Boop doo. Do do do. Do 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 do. I did it. A lot of elaborate stuff to keep. The color orange come before the fruit or after? After.
Wow! There's a hidden room here! Let's see. Oh, this bookcase is full of Caesar's own notes. He wrote a lot about the principles of magic. Whew. Much too advanced for Paimon. Hey, look! Is that Caesar's diary on the table?
There is. Let's read it.
This book's thick as a brick! Let's take a peek inside it, shall we?
About the wish lists.
At one of my shows a few days ago,
That's voiced.
a child asked me how I pulled candy out of my hat. As a joke, I told the kid that the hat has a built-in wish-granting machine.
Ooh.
Next thing I know, today a whole bunch of kids were pestering me to pull all sorts of things out of the hat. So I told them another white lie. The machine needs time to power up, but in the meantime, you can write your wishes down.
The same time.
Well, they took me up
All
on that
at
offer
the same time.
enthusiastically. As I write this, I've only just got back from running around all over town, buying the things they wanted. Boy, are my legs sore. I wound up saving very little this month, but that's not a major issue. I now have a bigger problem. How am I going to hide all these things inside my hat?
A bigger hat. He's become Santa Claus for all the children. What the children studying magic?
2 children came to talk to me after today's show. I don't know why they were out on their own. They looked much too young to be unsupervised.
Does Lyney have a connection to Caesar?
I do
Did
hope
Caesar
they got
teach
home
Lyney and
safely.
Lynette his art of magic?
Anyway, they said that they wanted me to teach them how to do magic. It's not uncommon for children to ask this, of course, but I've never seen any of them as serious about it as these 2. I told them that learning magic is very hard work, but that didn't faze them at all. It's like they already knew. They seemed so committed.
Is that why Lenny's so into this search, trying to figure out what's going on? About Lorenzo's issues.
It seems like something's bothering Lorenzo lately, but he won't open up to me about it.
It's
Surely
all
he's not
connected.
upset that I agreed to teach those 2 children. I'll have to talk him around. I have a good feeling about those kids. They're naturally talented, and it seems like they're not new to the world of magic. They have all sorts of fantastic ideas. All I'm really doing is helping them develop a more professional standard training plan. They wanted to call me Master, but I told them they absolutely mustn't. Any magician worth their salt could have taught them what I have. They're the geniuses here. Compared to them, I don't deserve to be called any sort of Master.
Sure.
With time,
Master.
I have no doubt that they could become far greater magicians than I. My only concern is why they're so mature for their age. I fear they've had to grow up too fast. I don't dare to imagine what they must
It's
have been
definitely
through.
Lyney and Lynette. Definitely.
Gemma thinks so too. She doesn't like being around them. Says that their eyes are too piercing. They don't bother me, but then again, I've never been the sharpest tool in the shed.
Smash Mouth reference. About the farewell.
It's nearly time for me to go on tour. I asked the 2 kids if they'd like to come with me, but they shook their heads. I once overheard them talking about their father and their mission. Sounds like their parents have other plans for them. I guess we'll be parting ways soon. It's only been 10 days since I first met them, but I think that I've gotten a feel for their personalities now. They're very tough, but also very cautious, and they trust no one but each other. This, I fear, is not a good habit to have. They hide things from me too. For example, when I asked them where they live and why they wanted to learn magic, they lied. That's the thing about children. Whenever they're trying to cover something up, it always shows somehow. I can sense that their lives have been hard, possibly even dangerous too. They're not like other children. It's a shame that I can't do more to help them. After thinking things over, I decided to tell them a bit about how I see the world. It's full of lies and falsehoods, and that is why we must find our own truth. P.S. I hope they won't find my nagging annoying. Children are so opinionated nowadays. Will it do them more harm than good for someone they've only known 10 days to lecture them like that? P.P.S. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Children aren't interested in grand philosophies. It probably just went in one ear and out the other. I bet they've already forgotten every word I said. Oh, Caesar, Caesar. Just mind your own business next time.
Well, stop reading.
2 magic geniuses with a father and a mission, huh?
Stop. We know who that is.
Sounds a lot like he was writing
Google says
about
the color
Lyney and
comes from
Lynette,
the
don't you
fruit.
think?
I think Google's lying.
So did they meet Caesar when they were kids? Let's go ask Lyney.
They sure did. And I've already assumed that, but... Lyney, I found out you have a connection with somebody. Your past. Why you're really interested in finding out how Caesar died.
Hold that thought. As I expected, there's a lot of fishy things going on in this place.
Fishy?
Fishy.
Uh-oh, what have you found?
All in good time. Before we go over our new leads, I want to tell you how a high-altitude escape is performed. First,
But why?
the magician slots themselves into a magic box in full view of the audience. The box is then suspended high in the air, and a short while later, the base automatically opens. At this point, a dummy will fall out of the box, but it looks real enough to grab the audience's attention, and they start wailing and screaming. Meanwhile, the real magician, who has by now blended into the crowd, waits for a good moment to make their appearance and put on a hysterical performance. Oh no! Is that me? Did I just fall to my death?
Very vivid description. Paimon can really picture it.
Probably because he saw it and he was in the crowd
The
himself.
audience's gaze then turns to
Or
the
he's done the
magician,
trick before.
and by the time they realize what's happened, the dummy has vanished, as if everything that just happened was some sort of shared illusion. Of course, that's just how I think the process should work, theoretically speaking.
Theoretically speaking? What do you mean?
The inventor of this trick never performed it successfully. When the box opened, Caesar was the one who fell out, and not the dummy. He fell right to the ground from the highest point of the opera house. No one could hope to survive that fall. Not without
Theoretically,
vision, at
these?
least.
These what?
And no one else has ever attempted this trick since. My understanding of how it works is just based on what I could gather from his notes and the relevant gadgets here in his workshop.
So Caesar's famous high-altitude escape has never been done, huh?
And you're trying it tonight.
Someone was about to say
Live
I
on.
been to see it in person, but if it's that dangerous, it's probably for the best that no one else tries to do it.
Nuts boy.
So if a dummy's supposed to drop out of the box, then where does the real magician go? How does he get out?
Glad you asked. That brings us to the secret of said box. This box right here is the one that Caesar constructed himself to use in the performance, and it's not as simple as it looks. Inside, there's a device that only the magician himself would know about. Once the magician's inside, and
Thought
the box
magicians
is
aren't supposed to
lifted up into
reveal
the air, the
how
audience's
things
view
are
of the box
done,
is fixed
and
at
you're
a
just
certain
ruining Caesar's
From where they're
magic
standing,
trick.
they have a clear view of the front, sides, and bottom, but the back and the top are now no longer visible. At this point, the magician presses a button inside the box, opening a secret door out of view. He then escapes through this trapdoor onto the opera house roof, waits for the dummy to fall and distract the audience, and quietly returns to ground level.
That's way simpler than Paimon imagined. Even Paimon could probably do it.
Right, Paimon.
Well, there's a little more to it than that, of course. The hardest part of this trick is controlling the audience's mood and reactions. That takes an exceptional degree of showmanship. There's the falling dummy, the miraculous reappearance, the pompous performing. Maybe the magician would even have themselves tied up before it begins to strengthen the impression that there's no escape. Many days and nights of careful research and painstaking practice would have gone into this, all culminating in a performance just a few minutes long, but one that still manages to transform the shock and grief of a tragic accident to the joy and laughter of a mesmerizing magic trick.
The prank bro.
Caesar was a highly accomplished magician. But unfortunately, even he didn't manage to pull it off.
So, how did it go so wrong? You said you found some fishy stuff here. Have you figured out what really happened?
I can make a pretty good guess. I looked into the case files. The magic box Caesar was using at the time of his death had the secret button I mentioned positioned on the right-hand side. And, sure enough, he always used his right hand as his dominant hand in public.
Okay. Nothing suspicious there.
But here's the strange thing. Most of the devices in this workshop have the mechanism on the left-hand side, including this box right here, which leads me to believe that Caesar was in fact left-handed.
I'm not sure where you're going with this. Why would Caesar pretend to be right-handed?
Because a magician can't afford to have their most basic habits stand out too much. People naturally focus their attention on the most important details of the task or situation at hand. But a magician needs to be able to redirect an audience's attention at will, so as to avoid arousing their suspicion. The essence of magic is getting people to believe a lie. If even the truth raises eyebrows, the falsehoods become all the more difficult to mask. And so,
Caesar might be the
trained
first
himself
worm.
to use
I
his
think he
right
is the
hand
first
to
worm.
align with his audience's expectations. Great magic always requires sacrifices. But in his most stressful and nerve-wracking moments, and when no one was watching, reflex would kick in and he'd use his left hand. That's why he set his gadgets with the mechanism on his left.
Maybe someone exploited that fact against him?
Exactly. I think that's likely what happened. Caesar would have been under a lot of time pressure during the escape. He'd have had mere seconds to open the hidden compartment, retrieve the dummy, then open the secret door and make a swift escape. But I'm sure he was confident. He would have rehearsed countless times to the point where it was second nature. He'd barely need to think about what he was doing because muscle memory would guide him through. So he opened the compartment, took out the dummy, checked everything was in order, and then went to leave. With his left hand, he reached for the button, and suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. It wasn't there. Much like when you reach for your keys but find your pocket empty, his mind needed a moment to process what was going on.
Genshin Homes?
Instinctively,
Yeah, pretty
his left
much.
hand would keep
Is this how
feeling
the whole
around for the
Fontaine
missing
quest
button,
line was?
maybe for another
It was
second or
figuring
two.
out
Till
murder
the bottom of the
mystery
box gave
and
way.
then solving
But
a
the stakes being as high as they
or
were,
like
just a 2-second delay cost him
um
everything. The
a murder
authorities would
spree
find
that had
nothing
been going on
suspicious
for
and
years,
conclude that his death was due to his own
and
error.
experiments on people and all kinds of crazy shit. Finding out that the people in Fontaine weren't actually humans, and they were water elemental creatures that were turned into humans, and that broke the law of the gods, and it caused a whole problem. And then it made this prophecy. Yeah, it was a whole flip.
And who could move his
Anyway.
props around without arousing
Yeah, that
suspicion.
was Fontaine.
Someone who was always by his side. Isn't that right, Lorenzo?
No, he's been here the whole time. Hi,
Just
Lorenzo.
couldn't let sleeping dogs lie, could you? There's not a lot of people who'd go to all this trouble for some magician who died 10 years ago. I didn't want to have to do this, you know. Silencing you the hard way just creates
You
more
read all that,
problems
yeah.
for me to deal with. But I gave you your chance. I hoped you'd do what's good for
fucking
you
knew
and
it was
back
Lorenzo.
off like the lady, but
They make this stuff too obvious.
you disappoint me.
You mean Gemma?
Sometimes it's not super
So
obvious, but
you're
still.
the one who's been threatening her.
Yeah.
Yes, although however stubborn she might be, she was never much of a liability. But you people, you never even
You
knew
people.
him, but for some reason you just wouldn't drop it. Which is why you can't leave this place alive. Take them out and make it quick.
Do your worst.
Yay, legally killing people.
Step right up.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Goodbye. Oh, fuck. Eat this. Everyone knew it was Lorenzo besides Geronimo Staliki. Who the fuck?
For Rex Lepus.
Geronimo Staliki. Am I supposed to know who that is?
Let's run. Open fire.
Geronimo Staliki. Hard to the back of the head, bro. Always gets him. Every time.
You kids are tougher
No,
than
but it's
you
okay.
look.
Okay.
Had enough yet, Lorenzo? Your cronies can't help you now.
Not real. Okay.
I think it's high time you started talking. And what I'd really like to know is, why did you murder Caesar?
So you knew it the whole time, Lyney?
If I had a Mora for every time you said that man's name. Of course you idolized Caesar, everyone else did. But I was the real genius magician.
But jealousy?
Me? He was just an amateur who did cheap tricks for gullible children. I was the one who made magic into the fine art it is today. The aristocrats doffed their hats to me.
Lyney.
So it was jealousy.
What I said.
Jealousy. Hatred, more like. I hated Caesar. All he cared about was his magic. He lived and breathed it. He poured everything into his street performances and his stupid tours like it was just a hobby to him, never bothering to think about Mora. What sort of fool devotes their life to the art of deception and never has a Mora to show for it? But the people loved him, didn't they? Oh, how they looked up to him. No one gave me a second look. All I ever heard was, "Oh, your master's amazing, isn't he?" Amazing. Yeah, so amazing that he was completely broke. Every other apprentice was living it up at their master's expense, but no, not me. I put in all the work, mastered all the skills, and it brought me nothing more than the life I already had.
So you killed him? Why didn't you just
He
leave?
forbade me from using magic to trick people out of their Mora. There was nothing he hated more than that. And with his reputation in Fontaine, it was too risky for me to go it alone. As long as he was alive, if I dabbled in my own brand of money-making magic, he would expose me, and it would destroy me. I had to kill him. There was no other way. He had to go.
Okay. A little extreme.
And this was your only motive?
It was reason enough. What other motive would I need?
Well, I was under the impression that there might have been other factors at play. For instance,
I knew that too.
Maybe you were in love with Gemma, but she was engaged to Caesar.
In love with Gemma? Don't be ridiculous.
Guess I was wrong about that then. Next question. Are you the Phantom Weasel?
I am. Caesar was so strict with me. He insisted that his way was the right way, that the sole purpose of magic was to bring joy to the world. I never
Joy
bought
to
into any
the
of
world.
that. I was more interested in the practical value of magic. Sure enough, it helped me fill my pockets with all kinds of valuable treasures.
But I heard that the Phantom Weasel stole from the rich and poor alike.
Oh, yeah! Charlotte told us that the weasel would steal whatever people valued, no matter how much it was worth.
That's just how it looked from the outside. What would any thief want with second-rate loot? I've only ever targeted high-value items. I stole cheap things as a way of practicing my craft. It was other people's overactive imaginations that conjured up the preposterous image they then dubbed the Phantom Weasel.
Must have been into kissing
So
magic.
that's the
Yeah.
story, huh?
Must have been the wind.
Well, I hope you're ready to tell it all over again during your trial.
What choice do I have? You're a pack of wolves, and you've got me between your jaws. You've seen what's here, and my last-ditch effort to stop it getting out has
This seems a little bit too
What
straightforward
else
and
can I
easy. I
do?
feel like something's going to happen.
So be it. I've enjoyed power and wealth for the last 10 years, the likes of which Caesar could never give me. I wouldn't choose for things to end this way, but I regret nothing.
Very well. In that case, I'll contact the guards. Traveler, Paimon, keep an eye on Lorenzo for me.
Just like
I'll meet you
Scooby-Doo.
just
It
outside
is.
the
Yeah, we
workshop when I'm
unmasked the
back.
villain. It was Lorenzo the whole time. I'm keeping my eyes on you,
At
Lorenzo.
least I can finally stop looking over my shoulder now.
I wouldn't be so sure in prison, Lorenzo. Paimon Scooby? Paimon is definitely Scooby. Does that make me Shaggy? And, Lenny's Freddy? Or Velma? Pinky.
Lyney has told me the whole story.
Bruno Mars.
Lorenzo, do you confess to the murder of Caesar and to framing him for the Phantom Weasel's crimes?
Lyney is scrappy too. Okay.
Look who's finally developed a conscience.
Lori.
What kind of disciple murders their own master? I hope it was worth it. Because there'll be hell to pay.
Hey, calm down, Lori. Calm down. You know, we already scolded him. He's been dealing with that for 10 years. You know,
Looks
just,
like
you
it's
know.
all over. What should we do next, Lyney? Should we start preparing for your show?
I feel like that's not the end.
Think.
There's
Let's
something
rendezvous
going
with Lynette and
on.
Gemma first. With Lorenzo in custody, Gemma will no longer have to fear for her safety.
Feels too straightforward and easy.
We
I
should
don't
go
know.
tell
I
Gemma
guessed
the
all of
good
this at
news
the
right
beginning.
away. It'll give her some peace of mind for sure.
There's gotta be more. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. There have been all. My brain's so like all the games and stuff that I play and everything that I see in Genshin specifically. Like my brain's always thinking like, there's gotta be more. There's always bad. Something's happening. Can't be it. But a lot of times it is. Genshin was not rated M. Ain't no way Genshin's rated M. With the shit that goes on, though, I mean.
Ah, you're back. You were so quick. I've only just finished my third dessert.
Third dessert?
Your third? Lynette, come on, we've talked about this. Everything in moderation.
Where's my
You're
dessert?
not gonna have any room left for dinner now.
Let me get a seat here in order.
That's fine. I'll shift to exercise mode and drive off the excess sugar.
That's besides the point. Well, it's done now.
Big eats, baby.
Try to eat a more balanced diet in the future.
Point taken.
Did everything go okay?
Yep, we caught your husband's murderer.
Lorenzo was no match for us. The guards are taking him into custody as we speak.
Gosh, that's amazing. I'm sorry. I
You
still
know it's
didn't
Lorenzo
know
the
if I
whole
could
time,
trust
Gemma?
you, but now it
Why didn't
seems
you
I
tell us
can.
then?
I had my suspicions
Oh,
about
okay.
Lorenzo, but I...
It's okay. We understand. He did threaten you. Paimon would find it hard to trust strangers in your position, too. But you don't need to be scared anymore. Everything's gonna be okay.
Sorry. Sorry. My emotions are all over the place right now. I've been waiting for this day to come for so long. I always wanted to report Lorenzo. He took all of Caesar's property, which I found suspicious. But I had people watching me all the time, so I couldn't risk looking into it. I was so afraid. I was scared he'd do something terrible to me, and then no one would be left to visit Caesar's grave. So I never had the courage to speak out. Thank you all. Truly. Thank you so much.
The lady's suggestion everyone goes to the cemetery to announce Lorenzo's arrest and hold a memorial for Wait, she's actually the Phantom Thief? No, no. That first theory I had is wrong. She was not the Phantom Thief,
was
bro.
the real Phantom Weasel. He never showed any signs that there were problems between him and Caesar in public. From the outside, it looked like they got along great. And to think that lowlife's been living life to the fullest all this time, while Caesar's name was getting dragged through the mud. It's a travesty. At least his soul can finally rest in peace now, thanks to your efforts.
If only I'd realized before it was too late.
Don't blame yourself, Gemma. This isn't your fault.
Yeah, you still have the rest of your life to live. Caesar wouldn't want to see you spending it feeling guilty.
Cheer up, Gemma.
Cheer up,
My brother's doing a
Gemma.
magic show at the Opera House tomorrow evening. Would you like to come along? It might raise your spirits. This show will be a special one. We're holding it in Caesar's honor.
I feel like, I mean, I know it's been 10 years, but watching a show in the Opera
Caesar's
House of
honor?
Magic.
Really?
And she supposedly probably watched her husband die in that the
Great.
show.
We'll see you tomorrow evening.
I'm just saying,
Try.
it might be PTSD, bring up some bad memories of her husband dying in front of her. I don't
No
know.
way are we gonna miss out
I mean,
on
if
the
she's
free
ready, I mean, we
magic
could
show.
do it, but just saying.
Wait, Paimon feels like we're forgetting something. Oh yeah, Caesar's diary! We never found out if the two kids Caesar taught magic
Opera
to were
house.
Lynette or not.
Yeah, it's
Lyney changed the topic back in
he
the
did that
workshop,
on
so we didn't get a chance to bring
purpose.
it up. Oh well, guess we'll just have to ask Lyney tomorrow evening.
I mean, we already know the answer anyway, but you know, we got a long time to wait. So let's review what we found out. Lorenzo killed Caesar because he was jealous, he hated him, and he wanted to be able to steal things. And he also hated that Caesar took Gemma from him. There's all the motive, the reason why he did it. How he did it was he fucked up the magic trick he was trying to do, and Caesar fell to his death. And he was bullying Gemma to make sure she stayed quiet, tried to bully us, which didn't do anything because we're too good. And now he's going to jail. We're gonna watch Lyney's magic trick, which will have a cutscene, no doubt, that will probably look cool, but be too short, in my opinion, like most of the other ones. And then we'll move on to the next quest, which I think is Riceley, who is also here in Fontaine. Into the opera house. It's pretty empty. Are we too early? Or is it a special showing? What did I... Oh, okay. No, no. Charlotte's here too.
Paimon's excited to see another of Lyney's magic shows! Wait. Lynette, shouldn't you be on stage by now?
Not this time. My brother's going solo today.
Oh my.
So I'll be watching with you.
Alright.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's
Robert
ready
Houdin.
because the show is about to begin.
Alright, everyone, shut the fuck up. Show's about to begin.
The great magician Lyney has prepared a
Woo!
spectacular show
Woo!
for us all
That's
to
my
watch.
boy! We've solved so many crimes together. Woo!
Finale that no audience has ever seen before.
Thank you all so much.
He's
for
gonna
coming.
resurrect Caesar from the dead.
Prepare to join me on a journey through the mystical and miraculous.
Lyney wows the audience with his skill. We don't get to see it? I want to see it. You show me.
Exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's just.
I know she's gonna have
It
PTSD.
reminds me of him.
It's okay, Gemma. We're here. Isn't magic normal in the world? I mean, it's technically not magic. It's...
How did you two first meet, Gemma?
Well, it's magic. Just don't tell him I said that.
Well.
Oh,
I was out on
is the
street
cutscene not going to be
once, and I
Lyney
saw
doing
him
magic? It's going to
performing
be
for
her
little
talking about her
children.
husband?
Children love magic.
I don't know.
Because they're willing to believe in things that can't be rationally explained. Caesar had this amazing way of bringing them into a dreamlike world. And
Dream,
somehow,
dream.
I felt drawn to him too. So I went up and asked him to do a trick for me.
Aw, that sounds so romantic. What trick did he do?
He took her
It
heart.
was with a flower. He took it in his hand, snapped his fingers,
Huh?
and it magically appeared on my head.
You mean the one that Lyney showed us?
I was so happy.
Was
that
Lyney
I-
flirting with us? Oh my gosh,
No
Lyney.
one had ever given me a flower before that.
Oh, that's so cute. Actually, now that you mention it, Lyney's done that one before.
So her husband was Abraham
Is
Lincoln?
that right?
No,
I
no, he
suppose
wasn't
he's a
shot in the
romantic
back
at
of the
heart,
head.
just like Caesar.
He dropped
So
the
let's
crown
treasure the time we have with him.
very far
After all,
height.
You never know when the people dearest to you might be gone.
He was more or less like John Wilkes Booth trying to escape. That's John Wilkes Booth also fell from a far height. He didn't die though. He did injure himself. Anyway, don't be sad. The killer's been caught.
That's right. It's all over now.
Yeah, it's all
I
over.
don't know how to comfort you, but at the very least, no one's gonna be intimidating you from now on.
Hey,
You can
blind
breathe easy
pixie,
at
sit
last,
down up
right?
front. Stop talking about dead
Right.
people. Try to watch the show.
Yes, you can breathe easy now. Phantom Weasel.
See? Even Lynette says... Wait, what? The Phantom Weasel? Lorenzo escaped? Where is he?
I know it. I fucking know it. I fucking know it.
What do you mean, Phantom Weasel?
I fucking know it.
As Lyney once said, a performer's job is to commit fully to their role and put on a flawless performance for their audience. But once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time to end the show. The spotlight is no place for someone with no more cards up their
My first
sleeve.
theory was correct. Both theories were correct. They're all the same.
Aren't you tired of the grieving widow act? I think it's time to put an end to it.
What are you talking about?
Sit down, Pixie. Sit
Paimon
down.
doesn't like this riddle. Traveler, Paimon doesn't like where this is going. Come on, say something.
Sit down. Up in front. Shut up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all enjoying the performance so far.
Haven't seen shit.
There will now be a brief intermission, after which Lyney will perform the most electrifying act of tonight's show, the one we've all been waiting for. The final performance will take place outside of the Opera House, so please make your way outside in a calm and orderly fashion.
Nani?
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places, did they? Don't worry, this place will be quiet soon. Let's talk somewhere else for
Riley,
now.
come back. The scoop of your life is just behind you. No, don't go. I'm gonna sit down. Alright. Go somewhere quiet. Ask about the truth.
Take me up.
Oh yeah. Phantom Weasel. Was she just the one that wrote the letter? Did she not do anything else? I gotta figure out what's going on. What have you done?
Dear me, this is awkward, isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't do any tricks to liven up the mood. This is a big mistake for a magician to make, but thankfully, I do have a backup plan. Now, who wants to hear a story?
I do.
Lyney, don't we have more important things to address right now? Lynette accused Gemma of being the real Phantom Weasel a moment ago. Oh, what the heck's going on?
All in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are thinking. I know the questions you want to ask. And as it happens, the story I'm about to tell might answer a few of them.
Really? Well then, let's hear it! Paimon's dying of curiosity here!
Let's go back to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel was terrorizing the court of Fontaine. She never missed a target, never left a trace,
So did-
and no treasure was safe from her thieving hands. But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police, and her opportunities to act became ever fewer. Every day, she ran the risk of being exposed for who she was. Of course, she could not simply
she
take
made,
this lying down, and before long, she found her ticket to
Lorenzo
freedom.
take the fall?
She would create a scapegoat,
Or did they work
a
together?
false
Yes.
weasel to close the chapter
my
on her
God.
behalf. After weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician, Caesar.
Oh no, wait,
After
this
all,
hold on. The
magic
plot's
and
even
theft
more
shared
thick.
enough similarities for people
Thick
to
with
buy
3
the story
Cs.
when the truth came out.
So then what?
Being the master deceiver she was, the weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. Now all that remained was to frame him for her countless crimes. But as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved pupil, and a new thought entered her mind. Maybe I don't need to get my hands dirty after all. At her encouragement, Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic box, causing him to fall to his death. Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. 2 co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
Bastards! They were probably having sex in the background too. Damn.
I've got to hand it to you. You're both exceptional storytellers. It's enough to make even me wonder whether there was really another mastermind behind all this, pulling the strings. But I just have one question. You seem to think that I am the villain in this tale. What's brought this on, Lyney? Is it something that Lorenzo said?
And you said.
Don't worry, Lorenzo said nothing at all. But I never believed that he was the weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain.
Right, that's what I was saying. It was kind of
He
weird.
was too forthcoming with his confession, as if there was something else he was trying to hide.
How disappointing. So you'd sooner trust Lorenzo than me, even without a shred of evidence?
Oh, knowing Lyney, he has
A
evidence.
magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the result they want. And I have no doubt that you, Gemma, are equally talented in this regard. With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. The lovesick fiancé, whose devotion to her betrothed is unshakable, even under threats of violence. Caesar was maligned and hated by all for 10 years, but you? Everyone sympathized with your plight. Who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady always seen weeping in front of Caesar's grave was actually the mastermind behind his demise? No, not that poor lady. Perish the thought.
Wait, so you mean the whole intimidation thing was just a
They were on it, in it on it from the beginning.
both in on it? But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he sell her out even at the end instead of admitting to being the
She was gonna help him escape jail.
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Take off the mask.
Well,
It's actually Lorenzo.
if you're so confident in your version of events, then I think the answer should be obvious. Having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the Weasel remained free, then she could take care of Lorenzo's loved ones.
An excellent answer, though sadly a little dull.
Is that right? Well, don't let me bore you. If you'd care to change the topic to something more interesting, I'd be much obliged.
As a matter of fact, there's one thing I'd really like to understand. Why would the real Weasel have targeted things that only have value to other people? Could you shed any light on that?
Of course. After all, we're just telling stories here, aren't we?
Hypotheticals.
If I had to guess, I would say that the real Weasel must have had a terrible childhood. Left to fend for herself after her parents died young. Betrayed, scorned, beaten. She'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins to draw on, using twigs and dirt for lack of ink and pen. She'd sew ugly rag dolls from whatever scrap material she could get her hands on. This was her only source of happiness in life. But it was all she needed, and she was content. Until the world decided that even this was too good for her. Once again, she was betrayed. And this time, everything was taken from her. She felt like life was a miry pit that dragged her further down the more she struggled to escape. At that tender age, she should have been happy. Instead, she stood in the shadows and watched with envy as all good things in the world passed her by. This was a fate too cruel for anyone to bear. Her pain became a breeding ground for dark thoughts. Thoughts which festered and grew into a twisted solution to her troubles. I detest the happiness of others, in all its forms alike. I will rob them of everything they hold to be good and true, and it will fill the void in my soul.
That's some pretty heavy stuff.
Sure is.
Now it all makes sense.
Does this story satisfy you, Lyney?
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to clear up my confusion.
Too bad it's all hypothetical, am I right, guys? Anyway, so what was with the warning letter?
Huh. That's right. What drove you to write that letter, Gemma? What were you trying to achieve there? Because without that, none of this would have ever come to light.
Were you trying to get caught?
She didn't write the letter.
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom
Who wrote
Weasel
that?
would be consigned to the history books by now. But it seems like someone still wasn't ready to let her finally be at peace. Lyney. Or should I call you the Phantom Copycat now? You were the one who posted that letter.
Lyney did
outside
it
the Opera
himself?
House.
He put himself on the trail?
But why?
Ooh.
Very sharp, Phantom Weasel. Still as shrewd as ever. Well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal was to clear Caesar's name. The most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar was to force the Weasel to show themselves.
That's it? You had no other agenda?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe. I shall take from you that which you hold most dear, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
10 years ago? You mean
The
Caesar
children in the fucking book, the fucking diary, the fucking people that he taught fucking... Damn it, Gemma.
Wait. Oh, I get it. You were those two obnoxious kids. It's been so long, and you're all grown up now. I didn't recognize you. He taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what, 10 days or something? And you went to all this trouble. Why? Because you feel like you still owe him something?
We remember all our debts, however great or small. 10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds, and his legacy was thrown out. 10 years on, and no one cares what the truth is anymore. But we did not forget, and so we came to find you.
And? What exactly did you take from me? I'm still standing, as you can see.
It's in the magic trick.
Lorenzo has admitted to everything. I'm free.
The Opera House is actually a
Free?
fake box. I'm kidding,
Do
I
you
don't know.
really think so? Caesar once told me that even though the world is filled with lies and falsehoods, we must find our own truth. I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Prized possessions with nostalgic value, fervent hopes and dreams, and irreplaceable people. Life took many things from you, and those wounds never healed. When they ached unbearably in the dead of night, stealing became your way of numbing the pain.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Perhaps that's because you found something other than a life of crime to fill the hole?
Ooh.
Back to Lorenzo for a second. He murdered his own master, played along with your act, and took pains to make sure any suspicion would be directed towards him. But what did he have to gain from all that? He knew who you were and the things you'd done, and despite that, he was willing to give everything up for your sake. He's the reason that you haven't felt the compulsion to steal in all these years. You're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has.
I would,
So
Lyney,
think
I
you
would
know
go further
deep
than
down
friends.
that he is the only truth you have in your life. But that truth is gone now. And I guarantee you, you'll never see it again.
Congratulations on your freedom, Gemma.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone in a world full of lies and falsehoods. I do hope you'll be able to bear it. You've still got a long life ahead of you after all.
gather round, one and all. The time has now come for the amazing Lyney to perform his final act in tonight's show. I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned for the grand finale. Well, wonder no more, for the answer is a death-defying high-altitude escape.
A high-altitude escape?
10 years ago, the trick that Caesar died attempting.
I'm sure you all remember the magician Caesar. This was the very trick that led to his fatal fall, after which he was dubbed the Phantom Weasel. But we have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused, and that the real Weasel has now confessed to their crimes.
Guess that's my cue to leave. Whew. I've been practicing this one for ages now, but I'm still a little nervous. Traveler, Paimon, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. There may be a lot of people watching tonight, but you alone are my true witnesses.
Okay.
Lyney, wait. You two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing your secrets. So what about now? Are you an open book? Or are you still the same as ever? You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone. One day, you'll end up exactly where I am today. Maybe then you'll finally understand.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
He's got a friend in me.
So, what are we, doing now?
Watching the show, I
Like Lyney
guess.
said, when you're ready, let's head outside and
Yeah,
watch the show.
I've nothing more left for us to do here.
What about Gemma?
He's
She'll figure out what's best for her soon enough. Oh, and if you'd like to see Lyney after the show, you know where he'll be. The usual haunt.
right.
All right. Well, let's go and watch Lenny's finale then. This trick's a pretty dangerous one, but he should be able to pull it off, right?
Let's hope so. Bye, Gemma.
What is my truth? Sometimes I think I'm like a gambling addict. All I care about is winning, and it doesn't matter what's at stake. By the time I come to my senses, I'm left with nothing. Oh, if I had my time again.
Yeah, you kind of dropped the ball on that one.
Magicians are not like thieves. Thieves only tear things apart. But good-hearted magicians, they put things back together.
Right.
Let's fly.
Where are we going? I don't know where we're going outside. Hey, Charlotte. Oh boy.
Magic should be mysterious, surprising, and defy logic. Magic is hard work. Every single movement has to be practiced thousands of times.
It's alright. We're used to that.
We're sorry. You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world is full of lies and falsehoods. I only hope that one day, you can find your own truth.
What about you? Have you found your truth?
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it. For a magician, what greater honor could there be? Look!
Behold! Lyney is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to escape? 10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
Watch out!
Mysterious. Surprising. And logic-defying. Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you, Caesar. I'm just sorry it's a little late.
Did you see that? 1 minute he was falling, and the next, he turned into flowers.
How could he possibly have done that?
How mysterious. I didn't blink once. He just vanished right in front of my eyes.
What a heart-stopping magic show! This was really worth the trip. Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Lyney has fulfilled a wish on his behalf. Oh, I couldn't ask for a better grand finale. It will make a great headline for the Steambird tomorrow, even if I do say so myself.
Looks like everyone really loved Lyney's grand finale.
Yeah, even though they don't know the full story.
Paimon doesn't see Lyney anywhere. Where'd he go?
Please.
Oh, Lynette said he'd be waiting for us at the usual haunt. But, where is that?
The cemetery?
Oh, you mean the one where Caesar's buried?
I guess so.
That's probably it. This whole magic show kinda seemed like Lyney's way of saying goodbye to Caesar. So it makes sense that that's where he'd be afterward. Alright, let's go look for him there.
Let's go. The cemetery.
Take me up! Let's fly!
Lyney! There you are. Are you alright? Paimon was scared to death when the chain broke. Paimon was sure something had gone horribly wrong.
Magic is a performance art. A magician has to get creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Caesar's original setup a little to keep it fresh. I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. The thought of falling, suddenly feeling weightless, seeing the sky and the ground spinning and spinning. Sometimes, I can't help but wonder what Caesar thought in those final moments. Did he regret taking Gemma and Lorenzo on? Or did he believe that it was his own slip-up right until the end?
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something ever since we were in Caesar's workshop. You learned magic from Caesar once, didn't you? When was that?
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, Lynette and I had an agenda when we approached him.
An agenda?
I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, I survived by secretly learning magic from street performers. I'd watch their tricks and try to figure out how they were done. But I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so far. What I saw was the polished final performance, but the rigorous training they put in behind the scenes remained invisible to me. I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand, hone my misdirection skills, and make niftier props. We were gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves, but without proper guidance from a professional magician, we quickly plateaued.
So that's why you sought Caesar out?
Yes, we figured there was no harm in asking, but it took us by surprise that he was so willing to teach us. In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. By contrast, we hid so many things from him. For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, I answered, "It's my passion." But in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. After being taken in by an aristocrat for our magic talent, then betrayed soon after, this was no longer about me doing what I loved. What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips even as I was hesitating over whether to tell him the truth. Trust is a beautiful thing. Sadly, I'd forgotten how to trust by then.
Lyney.
I don't blame you. That wasn't your fault.
Still worried about the way I feel? You really are a gentle soul, aren't you? But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the house of the hearth, lies and selfishness have followed me and Lynette everywhere we go. After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. The next we heard of him was that he'd fallen to his death, and was now declared to be the Phantom Weasel. That night, I remembered his smile. But as I lay there, I didn't know what to say to him. To keep secrets is to put up walls. The longer you keep them up, the less you let people in. Then, one day, you look around and realize your life is like an empty auditorium after a show, full of seats once occupied by all the people who left. But I guess that's the price we have to pay. You only realize how much someone really meant to you when you lose them completely. That's why I was so confident this would hurt Gemma. Because I felt it for myself.
Don't be sad. We're in your auditorium and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, cheer up, Lyney. We've had to say our fair share of goodbyes during our journey, too. But whatever happens, Paimon always believes in what tomorrow brings. Delicious food, fun toys, and the traveler by my side. Paimon just needs to focus on things like this, and all the unhappy stuff goes right out the window. You know, Traveler, doesn't that kind of make you Paimon's truth?
Exactly. It's the same for me and Lynette. We are the truest thing each other has in the world, and nothing can replace that. Life has taken plenty from us, like it did from Gemma. But at least it left us with each other. That's what gave us the strength to get through the darkest days. That's why the darkness never consumed me, and why it never will. Maybe we live in the shadows too, but we remember every precious ray of light that shines through. All right, time to lighten this conversation up a little. What did you think of the show tonight? Were you happy with it?
It was amazing! Paimon just wishes we hadn't been so distracted with the Gemma situation. We spent most of our time in the Opera House just talking and pretty much missed the entire first half of the show. Lyney, could you do just one more trick for us?
Whoa, that's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are decidedly card-free right now.
Aw, come on! Surely you can think of something. The Lyney Paimon knows can do anything if he puts his mind to it.
Oh, all right then. I'll give it a go, but only because it's you. Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing in your hand! We ain't going along with this!
Huh? My goodness, you're right. But I could have sworn I brought one here with me. Okay, try this. Count down with me. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1!
Oh.
Now, have another look around. Maybe the flowers appeared somewhere else.
Where's the flower?
Let's see.
Oh, it's on me again. Oh, God. Alright, I'm good, guys. I'm good.
Oh, this is a different flower from the last time, right? This one's
Oh,
called,
yeah.
a rainbow rose.
I forgot what Charlotte said.
But more importantly, Paimon has to know how the trick is done. Please, Lyney, pretty please!
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to start by addressing me as teacher.
Fine. Please
since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you. Namely, the student of magic cannot solely rely on others being prepared to reveal their secrets. You have to observe, think, and find the answers for yourself.
Is that it?
Ah, look at the time. We shouldn't linger here too long. Thanks again for coming to see my show. I bid you both good night. I look forward to seeing you again.
All right, fine. See ya.
Goodbye.
Shall we head back now, too? Oh, Paimon can't wait to read The Steambird tomorrow. Paimon bets Lyney and Caesar will be plastered all over it. Let's head to the Steambird's offices tomorrow morning and see what we can find out.
All right. Oh boy, that's not the end. It's not the end. This one's a really long one. What time do we have to wait? Fuck. Yeah, fucking God. No. Teleport.
I'm very sorry, Charlotte, but my sister and I are quite busy today. I'm afraid we'll have to decline this interview.
Oh, please, Lyney, I'll only take a moment of your time, if you would be so kind.
Huh? What's happening here?
I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, and it was going to go to print this morning. But just as dawn broke, I suddenly received news that Caesar's fiancée, Gemma, had contacted the guards and confessed to having been the real Phantom Weasel all along.
That was quick.
Hmm? Too late, bro.
Ooh.
That was quick, you say? It sounds like I've got some catching up to do. Please, fill me in.
Paimon can't keep her mouth shut.
Aha! My instincts did not lead me astray. You do have something to hide. Gemma turning herself in must have something to do with Lyney's performance last night.
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick reminded her of a better time with Caesar, and she could no longer ignore the voice of her conscience.
Huh. Okay, then. Wait, no, there must be more to it. If that's all it took for her to have a change of heart, how did it take her 10 whole years?
Well...
Charlotte's journalistic spirit is burning red. We're going to have to distract her somehow.
Oh, I remember now. You and Gemma were nowhere to be found after the show. What happened between you? Quickfire question. Where did you all go after the show?
Oh, we went to the cemetery and Lyney did a private magic trick just for us. Actually, glad you mentioned it, because that reminds Paimon, guess what? Lyney started using rainbow roses in his tricks.
What? I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself. Is this supposed to mean that they're more important to you than your own sister?
No, I just,
What now? Oh, did Paimon say something wrong again?
Sure did.
This is getting pretty awkward. What do we do, Traveler?
Let's get out of here.
Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be. Well, never mind. There's always next time.
Let's scram.
Forgive my persistence, but when there's explosive news waiting to be found, I can't turn away. The news about Gemma has already made waves, and I'll stop at nothing to get to the bottom of it all. Apparently, one of the things she said to the guards was that her final wish is to see Lorenzo one last time. Ah, there's clearly a web of complicated relationships there. Can't blame me for being curious.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll leave you to continue the rest of your conversation in peace. Bye for now.
Bye.
Lynette? Paimon didn't mean to...
Don't worry, I wasn't angry. I was just trying to distract her.
Oh, really? Oh, thank goodness. You scared Paimon there.
Phew. You and me both, Paimon. You and me both. At least it did the job, right?
Please take good care of that rainbow rose.
Will
I'd
do.
be really upset if you lost it.
It's complete. All right, we did it. We completed it. Hooray! I'm gonna end it there. So, thanks for watching. Check out the YouTube channel. Post over there when I'm going live over on the post tab. I also post the VODs over there, so if you missed any of that, you can check them out over there. I also post other edited videos and stuff like that that aren't on Twitch. So if you want to watch new content that's exclusively over there, go check that out. Check out the TikTok too. I post over there occasionally as well. Other than that, turn on notifications here as well. If you don't want to go over to YouTube, you can always just turn on notifications here so when you know when I'm going live. Next stream is going to be on Tuesday at 8 p.m. CST. Going to be more VR chat. So you can check that out. Other than that, I think that's it. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see all of you next time.